Is there a universe outside of Bravo?
Did we miss the training manual to our 30s?
No. Are they for real?
Thank God for our girlfriends. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Structured Chaos with Kelly and Kyra. We hope that you guys had a really great week and that you're ready to laugh about how none of us have it figured out.
Hello, welcome back. We are excited to be here. As you can see, we are unintentionally matching, which has happened to us a couple times, more than a couple times recently. But we're feeling our fall colors today.
Yes, we are.
And it is unintentional, believe it or not. But if you
100%.
know us, we would not intentionally match. So if we had discussed what we were watching, wearing, not watching. We do like to match what we're watching. Not what we're wearing. We like to match cohesively, coordinate. You know, we want to coordinate what we're wearing, but we wouldn't be matching exactly like we are. Anyways, it works. So anyways, before we get into our episode, I just wanted to let you all know something that we are doing this month. As you may know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we have decided to do a fundraiser to raise some money for breast cancer research. So we've posted about it a little bit on our Instagram, but if you haven't seen that yet, feel free to pop over there. The link to donate is in our bio. If you have any trouble finding it, it will also be in the description of this episode, or we can message it directly to you. But we're just going to raise money to support breast cancer research. It's a really important cause, and we are excited to help support the cause. Even if you can't help donate, we would love your support in just spreading the word. And we'll be talking more about it throughout the month. And some of the Housewives shows that we watched this week talked about it. So we're excited to see that. And yeah, so hopefully you can help support in any way that you're able to. And I just wanted to make sure everyone knew about our fundraiser that we're doing. And thank you so much to everyone who already has donated or shared our link or anything like that. We really, really, really appreciate it. We're so excited about the donations that we already got. We were shocked already. So
shocked.
Yes. So thank you so much. So with that being said, how was your weekend?
My weekend were really good. I mean, sadly, if you do follow sports, you saw that Padres lost on Friday, so we are out. But I was lucky enough to go to the game on Tuesday night, which I'm so grateful that I went to Tuesday over Wednesday's game because the energy in the stadium was so incredible. We had the time of our lives. We had so much fun. Just downtown was just everyone was amped, and they turned the lights out at the stadium. Oh my God, it was just hit after hit. And I honestly was sitting in front of two Dodgers fans. I was so very confused. I thought they would fear for their lives. And it was what are you doing here? You don't go here at all. No. And I want to say, which it's so funny because I want to say collectively, I mean, from where we were sitting and when we walked in, I mean, there might have been 100 Dodgers fans, maybe. And it was funny because my client went to the game on Wednesday and he was there was so many Dodgers fans. And I was really? We had two totally different experiences. And so that was really funny. But I'm oh my God, it was so, so, so fun. But I'm super bummed that they lost. But in good news, now I can let go of baseball, football. I'm a Giants fan, so we're not doing great, but the Cowboys are doing worse, which is nice. But more importantly, basketball is back. So now I can put my energy into the Lakers. Let's go, Lake Show. And so yeah, my week's been great because we are back. We are back and better than ever, hopefully. And then I went to dinner with one of my clients and we had such a great time. I had never been to this restaurant I had only been, actually, you and I went, Zama, you and I went for drinks after the Padres game one time.
Yep.
But I had never ate there before. So it was really, really delicious. So that was fun. And yesterday, you and I had a little content day. And the weather was so beautiful. While it was our fall content day, it was 80 degrees. It seemed as if. And so we were in sweaters. And if you saw on our Instagram at all, we were also dressed up as ghosts. So it was a little hot. But I think in true model fashion, we were not letting the people know how we felt inside. We kept it professional all the way.
Of course. And it was very fun.
It was super fun. We had a great day. So my weekend was good. My week was good. And how was yours?
Yay. Mine was good. I just last week just worked and I can't really think of anything like out of the ordinary that happened. I feel like I should start preparing better for talking about my week because I can think about my weekend.
I feel like I feel like you went on an event. You did an event. The Scout went somewhere.
Did I?
I thought you did.
It's very possible.
You saw Mom?
I saw my mom. It's been just so great having my mom here. I know I keep talking about it every week, but it's just so fun because I'm so close with my mom and I haven't, like I've mentioned before, we haven't lived in the same place literally since I graduated high school. And so she's been here for an extended period of time and just being able to just see her regularly and we went on a beach walk and had a good old heart to heart, which I needed this week real bad. And that was just so great. There have been so many times over the past many years that I'm just having a week and I'm like, oh, I just wish I could talk to my mom, which obviously we can talk on the phone and all that, but it's not the same as in person. So just sitting on the beach and talking to my mom, it was just what my heart needed.
Love that.
And then I watched a bunch of Love is Blind, which let me just tell the listeners, on Saturday, I am just watching Love is Blind. And if you haven't watched, maybe just skip ahead a couple minutes in here because not that there's going to be any huge spoilers. I'm not even at the end or anything, but about a character development spoiler maybe, but I was a couple episodes or maybe an episode ahead of Kyra. We weren't really talking about it, but I was texting another friend about it and I had said, ugh, I just do not like Hannah. I liked her in the beginning and now they're out of the pods and she was the one in the pods that was looks don't matter and I want someone to get to know me for me and I, don't care what he looks like and all these things. And then once they did the reveal, all she talked about was his looks and she was I'm a foot taller than him. And I'm you're the same height, first of all. And
also,
you're in
he's
heels.
Taller. He's taller.
Right. And you're in heels and he's still you're about the same height or he's a little bit taller in your heels. And so I'm just you're being so dramatic. All she's talking about is looks and she's making fun of him. And she just gave me the ick, hearing her talk about him. And I don't think he's the most attractive person ever, but he's not horrible.
I don't think he's ugly. I don't think he's ugly.
And I think after watching a couple episodes, he's does things that are kind of annoying and whatever, but so does she, everyone does, but she's acting like he's the worst person on the planet, but she's also just super immature. So anyways, I had texted my friend ugh, I just can't stand Hannah. Literally 45 minutes later, Kyra texts me and she's if you were on Love is Blind, I just know you would be the Hannah. And I was oh my God, because in my mind, I'm hating Hannah. And I'm what episode are you on? And she was oh, they're still in the pods. And Kyra obviously meant it as very nice. And she had explained, she's oh, you would have two guys that love you and you would be the favorite. And she said this super nice thing and she meant it very complimentary. But now that you have gotten further, how do you feel about calling you
I
to Hannah?
literally came on here and I was like, first and foremost, I just want to give my sincerest apologies for comparing you to Hannah, because it is in fact the furthest thing from a compliment. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah.
And like to all of Kelly's points, like when she was in the pods, like when you're watching like the first initial episodes, like she really does seem great. And I'm like, oh my God, I could like totally see Kelly in this role of like these two, like her being really like stuck in between like these two guys that like she is the house favorite. And like the way that Hannah was speaking and like and communicating and like expressing herself, like I was like, oh my God, like this girl is great. And I ate my words really quickly because she is miserable and she is so immature. And then I don't know how far you are. I finished. I'm like caught up now. Did you
They're still in Mexico. Where I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So I haven't gotten to watch that much more. So they're still in Mexico, and like so I need to watch more, but
Yes.
I know it gets worse, and I'm just like, but I just have to say really quick, when I got the text from Kyra, I was like, is
What
she
about
ending
her?
our friendship? Is this are you assaulting me?
Imagine if I hadn't changed my opinion. If I was like, oh,
I'm like, what episode are you on? You're like, I'm caught up. I'm watching the reunion right now.
Right. Like I'm literally meeting Hannah for lunch later. Like
you're the Hannah. Like you're horrible. I hate you.
Okay.
You're the villain.
So I don't like want to be like super direct, but like I'll leave hints of like how I feel about a person, you know? So like a couple people I'd like to compare you to are like Teresa Giudice, or Giudice, depending.
Giudice. Tamra Judge.
Her daughters. Yeah, Tamra Judge, Hannah. I mean, just like a couple people that I think really
what about
showcase
Sweet
your
Baby
character.
Gorgeous?
Yeah, and Lisa Barlow.
Oh my God, no way.
So yeah, that's like a couple things about how I feel about you, but like, you know, interpret it as you might.
You look okay.
Yeah, you look okay.
That's another thing. When we were doing our photo shoot for this podcast, I don't remember what I asked. I was like, oh, does this look good or whatever? Like our main look. And I was like, oh, I just feel like.
No, we were sitting outside. It was when we were doing the outside photos.
Oh, yes, it was. Okay. It was not our main look, but it was like whatever. It was a different look that we were doing. And Kyra goes, no, you look okay. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just fuck off then. Why am I here? You look okay.
Like literally as soon as I said it, I was like, I don't mean how that sounds. I was like, that's not what I mean. I was like, I know how that sounds. And I don't mean that. I didn't like the way I looked. And I was like, no, you look okay. Like, I don't.
I'm like, just because you don't like your outfit doesn't mean you have to drag me down with you. Oh, my light fell. Technical difficulties. Sorry.
This is a chaos today. We are very chaotic today. But it was so funny because when we were talking about the other day, we were talking about like our content stuff that we were doing yesterday. And I had said something about like, it's okay. And Kelly's like, well, that's a top tier compliment coming from you. She's like, so great.
Oh my God. I feel
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So basically what we've learned is that Kyra secretly hates me. There was something again yesterday that, when we were picking out the outfits for the pumpkin patch, right. And Kyra was going to wear a hat with the ghost, or not the pumpkin patch, the ghost thing. And she was like, well, I'm going to wear a hat. And I like didn't have a hat. And I was like, okay, you just want me to look like an egghead and just be bald? Like, okay,
like, no, I'm gonna order them right now.
Nope, I'll just be ugly. You go ahead and be the cute one. I'll just be ugly.
I do think that we need to show the original.
Oh yeah. So I'll add a slide on our carousel that shows you'll see. There's so many things. I'll add a slide on our carousel that has like the Hannah text, the ghost, like original, and then you will see the content that we ended up getting if you follow us on Instagram. It'll be worth it. It's really great.
And I'll
It turns
insert
out really
them
cute.
on, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, I'll put them in the episode as well so you can see them.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So lots of fun stuff this week, which honestly, I'm glad we had this chat because the shows we watched were like kind of
Bleak.
mediocre. So we're
Yeah.
probably we're not going to have like as much to talk about. The challenge was good, but
Mm-hmm.
the Housewives, like not as much to talk about. Which, by the way, if you listened to our episode last week,
Sorry.
you're a warrior, but we won't be having that long of episodes again. We're sorry. Our bad. So anyways, with
that being said, and there wasn't really any like drama in the Bravo world this week, which was also not normal. I feel like we didn't really get like this is a very bleak week altogether.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's start it off with the highlight though, which was the challenge, and great episode. And I know I said this last week about how like this is like my favorite time of the season, like when it's really getting down to it. But like, so it's like from here on out, it's just going to get better and better and better. The one thing that I just like couldn't stop laughing about was they were promoting the new Gladiator movie. And like, I get it. You have to do these certain things and say these certain things. But like, it was cheesy to the max. And it was like anything that could like, oh, you're wearing sandals today, which reminds us of the new Gladiator movie coming out, like in theaters.
Like they showed a whole trailer.
Oh yeah, multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they're like, and there's sand, and there'll be sand in the new Gladiator movie coming out to theaters.
There was like so much like blood and gore in this episode too, because they really had to like go full force with the Gladiator theme.
It's so like they took it to the extreme.
Yeah, they were all like killing each other this episode. It was crazy.
It was a little too intense for me there. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess get right into it. Like the group challenge was like, they had these like plastic shields, and they legitimately like had to like essentially knock each other out and like try to like knock them off of this like makeshift island and into the water. And it was really interesting because it's like some of the girls that you expect to be really, really strong and aggressive, like I feel like Jenny didn't do anything. And like I would be so afraid if I had to face Jenny in a challenge like that. Like I'd be like, oh, she's coming for me. And then like Tori's just like off to the side, like no one wanted to care about her. And also, how did you guys not see her?
I know. I was laughing like Tori, but Derek did that too, obviously because he's like injured, and but they were like the last of their. I mean, Derek was the only of his era, and Tori was the last one standing. So it's like they kind of had to be strategic. Like, well, if I get knocked off, I'm the only one left in my era. So I would do that too. I'd be like, they're kind of off to the side, like, I'm not gonna get.
Oh no, I understand their game plan. I was confused at everyone else's game plan. That's like, okay, well, the person standing off to the edge seems like the easiest target
to hit. Yeah,
let's all go.
Right. Well, so I thought it was interesting because after the challenge, we saw all the men bandaged up, but they didn't really show like them getting injured. Okay. Sorry. Rewind.
If we're going to talk about the men being bandaged, we're talking about one specific person, and it's our favorite person to talk about on this podcast, our guy Josh, who not only came back with the hairstyles this week, but a bandage. And it was like on his eye, but his eyebrow, but it was like he had to like keep it like this because it was just a little too much to keep his eye open.
But they didn't show his injury, did they?
Did he even have one? At this point, I think he loves an accessory to be talked about. I don't know.
And he had, so his hairstyle this week, was the half up, half down bun. So I'll be inserting that. You already know. And I know we're kind of bouncing all over the place, but in the challenge, one of the girls that said like that was not part of it was Avery, and she was like, my face, like, don't mess up my face. And so she just right in the water, basically. And I'm like, I mean, what does she think is going to happen to her face? Like, because she's like, I'm
Also, like,
a
you're on a
bartender.
physical show.
Right. But it's like, do you think they're going to, like, your face is going to
Sorry,
get
guys, my
bashed
headphones. I don't know
in?
what I'm doing with my headphones today. Don't mind me.
Well, you don't have a halo like me, so.
We can't all be angels.
Ain't that the truth? So yeah, the challenge, very physical. No, thank you. I don't want to do that. And then so after the challenge, there's a little tiff tussle situation.
Deciding like who's going to go into the elimination part.
Well, I mean, like at the challenge though.
Oh, right. Which then led to everything else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Corey and Derek are just, I mean, they coexist. They're just both there. They've never really interacted with one another. And if they have, it's certainly not been in any negative way. So they just like butted heads. And I don't know. I mean, obviously there was some ego involved in there. I just don't know where it came from. And I was a little shocked, but I know we've been talking about Derek and like pointing out, his feathered look and his leg that's troubled, not troubled, and his onesies and things like that nature. But let me tell you, that man has my full respect. He does not care. He is a fighter till the end, and he doesn't care how small he is, how big you are. He will pump his chest out and he will be just as big. And for that, respect. Because Corey's big.
I know, but the life jacket, throwing the life jacket at his back when there's a security stand, I do fully agree with you, like, because I don't think Derek was scared. I think he 100% would fight him. I obviously don't think he was backing down, but I think that was kind of like, okay, like, why are you throwing a life jacket at him when there's security blocking him away? I thought that was kind of lame, but I don't think it's because he's scared.
Like that meme where it's like where the guy's hitting like the car, like the seat in his car.
Yes.
That's what it was like for you.
Yeah, and I just think that was like lame, but I don't think it's because he was scared. I mean, he obviously is not, and I think he is like fearless and whatever, and he obviously like proved that later, but I just think that was kind of like, okay, cool.
Okay. So they have like their group challenge, and then they go and figure out who's going to be in the elimination against one another. And again, they're at that round table, and Derrick's like, let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. You think you're going to scare me? You're not going to scare me. I'm about this life. Like, let's do it. Not knowing what the elimination challenge was going to be, so we're getting right into the physicality again.
Okay, I have to say really quick about the table talk.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you can't beat a 3-legged dog in a race, you like don't deserve to be here or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
he did.
When he said that.
We love a self-aware king.
Okay, yes. But me being like, I understand dogs have 4 legs, and so if you're a 3-legged dog, then you're missing a leg. I understand that. But me thinking about like he's referring to himself as a dog,
yes.
I thought he was like giving BDE, so he was saying like he has 3 legs. So I was like, what?
Derrick.
He's like, I have an extra legs. Like,
wow. So that was not my takeaway.
I was confused. I was like, wait.
Seems like your mind was in the gutter.
So like your leg is broken, but you have a
family friendly. This is a family friendly podcast. Okay, we have a lot of moms and dads out here that may listen with their children in the car, and they don't need your dirty mind.
Their children don't
to
know
have
about
to
the
forward
spare
through.
leg. Derrick's spare leg. Their children don't know about it.
For the record, neither do we.
No, I don't. That's why I was confused. And yeah, anyways, I was confused on my own planet. No one was talking about Derrick's spare leg. He was definitely talking about rough dog. Anyways, so
then they
now
go into the elimination, and again, staying on track with being a very physical episode. One person is blindfolded. They're in a boxing ring. One person is blindfolded, and one person has these like bells, which in general seemed really hard to like walk around in.
They were on these shoes that had like
they were like
springs,
metal shields,
but they like squeaked like little like rubber chickens.
And then they had like bells all over them, and then these like essentially like paper puff, like they were fit like
bow
these
buns.
Yes, they did. They looked like bow buns, and then they had like paint in them. And so the goal was to like punch every single one, and they're on their head, their back, their chest, like everywhere. So the women's elimination was first, and it was Rachel against Avery. And Rachel and Derrick are the only two people left from Era 1, which we keep saying like it's not looking good for Era 1. So Rachel gets out there and she hits first.
And she's smiling as she's
the person
blindfolded,
punching,
throwing punches.
Right. So the person punching is blindfolded. I think Avery thought she also was blindfolded because she didn't move. She just stayed. There was no strategy. There was no strategy to her game at all.
So just a reminder, this is the girl who 20 minutes prior in the episode was like, don't ruin my face. I'm scared my face is going to get ruined because this is my moneymaker for my job. But now I'm going to stand here, not even put my hands up.
I'm not going to even block my face.
No. Now I'm going to let someone shock me in the face over and over again.
And in the post interview, she's bleeding.
I would think so.
I mean, Rachel was decking her. Like first of all, I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. But not someone I'd like to meet in a situation like that.
Okay, but did you see Avery's season of Real World?
Yeah.
Her and Naya got into a physical fight, and Avery they were on Bad Girls Club. That's what it looked like. Avery was fighting. That will be in the carousel this week because I'm sorry, she can fight.
Well, yeah, and she was talking about how she's a fighter. Like she was talking about how she like, I don't know what.
Right, and she does it like for workout and like not professionally, but like actually does it now. But I'm saying like she's also like scrappy and can fight, and she showed that in the real world. Like they were real.
She didn't show it in the challenge.
No, and I'm like
that Avery was nowhere to be seen.
I don't know if the first hit like she was concussed and didn't know what planet she was on because I really felt bad for her because
I didn't.
I'm like she looked like she was not okay. Which I'm not judging because I don't think I would be okay if I would not be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to fight.
No.
But I think if someone was punching me in the face, I would know to like move
I'd
or
block my face.
Yes. And it would be hard because it's not like you can hit back, but it's like block or move. Wouldn't that be your instinct?
But that's the point. It's like she's blindfolded. Move. Yeah. Like she literally just stood there.
Yeah. So then we saw Rachel, like they switched and Rachel starts running around immediately. And yeah, the bells are going off and stuff, but it's the other person's blindfolded. So they can hear you, but they can't see you. So it's like disorienting for them to try to catch you because they don't know where you are.
It was not great.
Rachel won.
Won. And then,
but, I mean, Avery, she did it. Like, props to her. She did the challenge, and she did get a good amount of, like the things.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I mean, she still like participated. She didn't give up. Like, whatever. So a lot
We're
of
not
the girls
giving a participation award.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like she's still a good challenger, but not good enough.
Didn't prove it to me. And then Derrick got the matchup that he had hoped for, and it was him and Corey going at it. And it was brutal to watch, like both of them. First of all, again, back to Derricks' leg being injured, which I meant to say, my coworker was telling me that she had heard him. He was on a podcast this week. He like tore his ACL, tore his MCL, and like did one other thing. So your boy was injured, going through a lot. And for that, again, even more respect, because he likes the glory. You could tell this man's a fighter, and it's like personal to him. I don't think, honestly, I don't think it's about the money at all. I think it really is like him proving to himself that it doesn't matter how old he is or what he's going through. He is a competitor, and he will fight to the end, and he will not give up. And I think that says a lot about his character. I do. And he is like, you could tell he is in pain, both when it's his turn and when he's receiving. And like, he is like trying. And I didn't know who won. I did not know who won until TJ announced it. And Corey won by like what? Like he did it in a quicker time. Like he got all of them.
They both got all of them, but Corey did it in a quicker time. So that was sad, which I figured, but you never know because how they edit it.
Totally.
But it's kind of, it seemed like Corey did it quicker just because he got to him and like kind of held him and got a bunch all at once quicker. But yeah, you never know because how they're editing it.
And it was more so like everyone's reaction that I was like, I don't know, because it seemed like everyone was so impressed. It seemed longer to us as viewers, but the way, based off of their reactions, it seemed like they did it in the same amount of time.
Yeah, they were confused too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Derrick lost. Derrick went home. So now we're just down to Rachel in era 1. And I thought that the game would have changed. It has to change this week. It has to, because she's going to be in elimination every single. She can't win a team challenge by herself. She's never going to be the winner.
Guy there's no guy to be part of the elimination. So,
I mean, if you have a team of 4 compared to a team of 1, like, and some people have a team of 8, 6. So it's like, she's never going to win. So the game has to change soon, and everyone's got to become individual, or they're going to have to be like, she may be able to join another era, or I don't know, but I'm looking forward to seeing what that little twist in the game is. So yeah, like we said in the beginning, this is like the best time, and this is when it gets like really good. So I'm excited.
I know. I read online, someone said like, oh, wouldn't it be such a good twist if at the end of the elimination, they said like, okay, Derrick and Rachel, like you guys, even though Derrick lost, to be like, okay, you guys are both going straight to the final, because like,
if you did win, you would have been able to go to the final.
No,
but since you lost, you still got to go.
No, like saying that, like, even though he did just lose this elimination, like, oh, here's the twist. Like, you guys are the last 2. So now it's like the last 2 from each era, last guy and girl go. And that's the switch up. And because then everyone in their own eras is going to start going against each other.
That would have been.
But I mean, I guess it still could be next week. They could be like, oh, Derrick's back, but probably not.
Maybe they're like, you know what? We were going to do this, but Derrick, you got to go. Like, you are hurt. So
yeah, you need like so much help that we just had to switch the whole strategy. Switch up the game. Yeah. And then, so just to like wrap it up with the gladiator thing, the Corey and Rachel won tickets to like the world premiere, which is happening in November. And TJ was like, if either of you want to take me, I'm like, as if you're not going to get tickets.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Also, we should definitely go up because it's probably in LA. So we should like go. It's probably going to be at the Chinese Theater. And you know, I love staying at the Roosevelt. It's right there. You should go check out the red carpet.
I just love the gladiator so much. I'll get my sandals on.
It actually is a really good movie. And I did used to watch it all the time in high school because my friend, it was his favorite movie. And so we would watch it all the time.
Well, you do love the challenge, and so seems like a good fit for you. So
that's it.
Yeah. So next up we have Housewives, and like we kind of mentioned earlier, these will kind of be much quicker because they just weren't as exciting. But New York, just a couple things. It started out, Erin got her hair cut, which I thought it looked cute. But the main thing is the reason she got it cut was because her mom is going through chemo because she has breast cancer, which obviously is very sad. But I thought it was sweet that she cut her hair, like just to kind of make her mom feel better about her hair journey. And they were going wig shopping. And she was like trying on different wigs and stuff. And so I thought that was sweet. And just, they obviously timed it for like Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so that was sweet to see. And then I don't know, Brandon and Erin talk and they make up. It was just whatever. They said they're like sisters. This sister comparison made more sense to me than the Cara Laurel one because they were fighting, but it wasn't as like psychotic as Cara, Maria, and Laurel. We find out the whole Abe betrayal of Erin was that he sold their Bitcoin, which was a big deal to me. Like, I understand that is a huge betrayal because that's a financial thing. I'm glad he didn't cheat on her.
Well, I think we're not there yet.
Well, right. So we don't know yet if he also cheated on her.
I think that that's still part of it. So she was on Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, okay. So I didn't see that. But so this betrayal, I totally understand why she would be upset about that. That is a huge betrayal, a financial thing. What I didn't like is, so after, they're talking about it and then he's like, I feel this pressure to like provide this lifestyle for you because when I met you, you're like going out with all these men and they're, giving you this lifestyle. And she's basically like, yeah, like just keep proving yourself and we'll be fine. And I'm like, so you're mad that your husband sold the Bitcoin to make up for these financial debts you had from this business because he was scared to tell you because he feels pressure to provide a lifestyle. And so he's telling you, I did this because I feel pressured and I didn't want to tell you. And so you're telling him, keep proving yourself and just keep doing it because you still have stuff to prove. And I'm like, that doesn't sound great.
So on Watch What Happens Live, she addresses it, and it was, and I mean, I think we all can attest to when something is happening currently, our reaction versus like when we have time to like sit and like actually gather our thoughts and words, our points come across very differently. So she was like, that's who he is. Like, I 100% with certainty know, like, he really did think that he was doing the right thing. And with everything that was going on in our lives, like, he did not want to add more. And she was like, there was no ill intent behind it. And that really was him thinking that this was like the best possible thing to do. However, that's still a conversation you have with your spouse. I mean, yes, the bottom line is still going to be the bottom line and it's still going to happen. But like, just like a heads up of like, just so you know, I understand that we're going through a lot right now, or I understand that this is happening. I do think that the best route is to sell our Bitcoin. If you don't agree and you have a better suggestion of how we can fix this and like, let's do it. Like, that's how you do it. Like, because what if she did have another way and it's like, we know enough to know that Bitcoin's value is going to continue to go up. I mean, it's like over $10,000 a Bitcoin right now. I mean, and it's only going to grow. So it's like,
right. 100%. No, I agree with that part, but I'm just saying the whole beyond that, saying, I feel pressured to provide a lifestyle for you. And she's saying, yeah, you need to keep doing that. Like, basically, I don't care that you're feeling pressured and that you're stressed out about it. That's what I'm saying is like, she doesn't care. Your feelings and your stress and pressure about it are irrelevant to me. I want this lifestyle. So keep doing what you have to do and I don't care.
Which is also crazy because it's like she comes from that lifestyle. So it's not like, and she makes good money too. So I just don't understand. It's like, it's not all on him, but yeah.
Yeah. So I just didn't really like that, but she's totally valid in being upset that he sold it. And like, I believe he did it from a place of like, just pure, like, this, I feel like is the right thing to do. And, whatever.
There was like another little snippet too with her and Bryn, just really quickly, that Bryn had said something about like her being from Long Island, Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Staten Island. And like Erin was like so offended. And she's like, okay, like whatever, city girl. So then they address it again on Watch What Happens Live. She didn't make it better. She was like, my mom is at the audience today, and like my two best girlfriends from college are from Staten Island. And like I talked to them about it, and I was like, no, like I have two best friends from Staten Island. Okay. That's you clearing. And she's like, but I'm just like not, she's like, but I'm just like not from there. Like I'm from the city.
She's like, but I'm so relatable.
Okay.
Like I'm friends with people from there.
Right.
She's like she's like
I'm
the
not,
Heather.
I would never live there, but like I have friends from there. Like I can relate. I would be friends with someone.
She's the Heather of New York.
Yeah. Oh, Dubrow. Heather Dubrow.
Yeah, Heather Dubrow. So I mean, the really only other like notable things that I had from this were, Rebecca is Scientologist, and I mean, she doesn't want to talk about it, but obviously it's going to be talked about, and so that'll be, you know, coming. They talked about it at the end of the episode, so that'll be kind of a theme coming up. And Uba's short blonde confessional look was
A
looked
choice.
like she was trying to be Kris Jenner for Halloween.
It was a choice.
It was a choice, and it's hilarious because her tagline is something about nothing, like what doesn't look good on her, and it's like this right here.
That Temu Party City wig that you decided to put on.
Which she actually posted on her story, and she was like, yeah, this doesn't look good.
But she did post a picture of her and her boyfriend, and he is fine.
Oh yeah, you hadn't seen him before?
I think I saw him like a little bit last year, but she like officially posted their first picture. Wow.
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago.
Was it a couple weeks ago? Okay. Well, I saw it whenever she did it, but we didn't talk about it. And
yeah, they look really good together. But she just like isn't bringing anything to this season. It's not even worth talking, except for bad looks on her confessionals. I don't like her confessional looks. She looks good in the show, like, but her confessional.
She didn't do it for me last year. She didn't do it for me this year.
Yeah, she has a couple blonde looks that I just don't care for in the confessionals, but whatever. Okay, so moving on to Salt Lake.
Our girls are still in Milwaukee. So they go to, so again, they're a divided group going to two different things. One of them is to go to the Miller High Life Caves or Miller Caves or whatever. And then the other one is going curling, which are two very polar opposite activities. I would like to go curling. I said to Kelly, like, I would like to go curling. I mean, not in lieu of going to the Miller Caves, but in general, like, yeah, why not? Like, let's do another experience. However, Mary has never tried beer before. She is a champagne connoisseur. And one of her like iconic lines from season 1 is like they were drinking Dom Perignon at one of her events. And then I forget like what year it was, but she was like, oh yeah, like this is like a very special year. There was like a really large fire and a lot of people died, but it was the best champagne ever. Sick, Mary. Yeah.
Classic Mary.
You have to taste this. This is like so good. I mean, the reason it's so good is because like so many people died from this fire, but like they got fire champagne out of it.
Yeah.
Yikes. But so this guy is like telling them how this like specific Miller High Life is comparable to a really good champagne, and she did like it. So I do want to do a taste test because I too love some shops. And
on the box it says it's the champagne of beers.
So we're gonna have to try that out. Because buying a bottle of Dom Perignon versus a bottle of Miller High Life, I have to imagine you're saving some coins.
I know. If Mary Crosby endorses them, Cosby?
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah. If she endorses them, I feel like it's probably...
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
So they're there. And then our other favorite girl to talk about, Brittany. So yet again, she has a grand announcement to make to the group. And she was like, guys, I have an announcement. You guys are going to be so happy. We broke up. And they're like, okay, great, sure. And she's like, well, they're like, does he know or what did he say? So then she shows this text message that he said that, hey, best friend, hey, BFF, you have terminated our friendship.
And it's just like, it's not a relationship. And then in her confessional, the producer says, does he know you broke up? Does he know you ended it? And she's like, no, not yet.
No.
So you didn't end it, or what are we doing?
And in true Housewives fashion, or just like in general, when someone is being tested and they don't want the heat on them, she then tried to bring it over to our girl Bronwyn, who you can't ruffle that woman's feathers.
Ooh,
and so she tried, and she was like, well, you have all this to say about my relationship. Like, why don't we talk about your relationship? And she's like, okay, what would you like to know? Like, are you going to bring up the fact that me and my husband have a significant age gap? Like, yeah, okay. And she's like, well, are you after him for his money? And she was like, yeah, I knew about his money when we met randomly in a bar. I knew all about it. And she was like, yeah. And my super, super intelligent, financially wise husband, yeah, he didn't think anything. He didn't make any type of decision or think about it at all before we got married. Like, and she was like, and then in her confessional, she even says it, which like, again, I freaking love this woman. And she was like, if you want to throw shade, throw shade. And she was like, but you weren't even throwing shade. And she was like, if you did, I would have been like, yes, girl. Yes, honey. I see you. Go for it. That was a good one. But you didn't, and you don't know what you're talking about. And if you have any more questions that you would like to address, I'm happy to talk about them.
Yeah, she was straight up like, are you attracted to your husband? And Bronwyn was like, am I attracted to my husband? Like it's just like, who asks that? It's just like tacky and gross, and you're just deflecting your BFF issues onto this woman's marriage, who's not shown to have any issues,
any cracks in there. Yep.
No, it's just bizarre and like distasteful. And I agree. I liked how Bronwyn handled herself. I thought it was classy and just calm, cool, and collected.
And like prior to, in context, sorry, before they get to this dinner at the Harley Davidson store, which was weird but cool. You know, Milwaukee only has so much to offer. Sorry, not trying to say anything against it. But whatever. So they're like going at it. Like all of these women are going at it on the bus, and then they like get to the Harley Davidson dinner, and they're like, oh my God, this is so cool. Wow. Look at this place. And Bronwyn's like, what? She was like, these women, she's like, I don't get it. Like they were all just ready to kill each other. And now we're just like happy-go-lucky paying each other compliments. Like, what?
Bizarre. I love when like new housewives call that stuff out, because it is bizarre. And like, obviously it's a TV show, but it's like, this is not normal. The last thing that I have to say about Salt Lake City is, of course, Mary blessed us with another Jeffrey Dahmer story. You know, I love a true crime crossover. So she's like this was when they were at the Miller Caves, and she's telling like the bartenders like the story of her dad, whatever, with the Jeffrey Dahmer situation. And then she goes, but my dad lied a lot, so hopefully he didn't lie about that. Like, what? So these stories aren't even like substantiated. We don't even like know if these are like happened.
No,
but I don't care. I just still love
probably didn't even live across. He probably didn't even live in the same place, same time.
Yeah,
we don't know.
It was probably
we don't know.
Yeah, no, we don't know. But
yeah, it was like lackluster. I mean, there was a conversation. So Whitney has a jewelry line, and it had been said in a previous episode that she had gotten kind of called out for buying the same thing off of Alibaba and marketing it as her own, and it's like not real gold, and marking up the price and blah blah blah. And it had been suggested that Meredith directly addresses it with her, and in a like concerning way, because that's how it was presented, and of course it wasn't, and it was shade. And then for her to, and that really is disparaging to someone's business. Like, You are on national television and all of you guys have businesses and you guys all talk about how important they are. So like, don't do this on camera. Like you already know where it's going to go. And you know how people on the internet love to like dig and create something that doesn't even exist, but they're going to like make it a point to make you feel that way. So I definitely didn't like that. And Meredith was not okay for that. She was not on the right side of history. And then Lisa just getting involved when you have nothing to do with it. And that's my issue with her. Stop. Shut up.
I
Shut
know,
up.
but Whitney and Lisa mocking each other's voices was fucking funny.
Oh, is that how I should talk? Oh,
You're
if I do
steamrolling me.
that.
Stop steamrolling me. That was funny. But yeah.
So I think the women make it back to Salt Lake by the next episode, and we'll see what they got for us next week.
Yes, better be good, because I was I mean, there was funny moments, but it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
And same with OC. We're going to get through this one real quick. And like we said at the beginning of the episode, because we are keeping this episode short, not short, but shorter than last week for y'all. Yeah. So basically they started out getting mammograms. So again, a breast cancer reference. 4 of them, I think, went to get, Heather, Jen, Gina, and Shannon went to get mammograms, which I think was amazing, like just to show, remind people about getting checked and things like that. I would say, as someone who has gotten mammograms, their experience was like a little bit different than what I've experienced, as far as like, I mean, I've never gone with like a group of friends, nor have I like instantly gotten my results or anything like that. But, that's besides the point. I'm also not on a TV show. So I think it was great that they showed them going. And so then they kind of, are getting ready to go on their London trip. They show like Alexis has text Shannon, basically, that she's not going. I was laughing at Shannon making fun of Alexis' hand heart emoji. And
how do they do the hand hearts now? Is that what the kids are doing?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Why don't I get that?
You have to do the millennial one. Yeah.
This?
I think that's the millennial one. Oh.
If you're watching our video like last week, Kyra has special effects. I don't, apparently. Not Gen Z enough. But anyways, that was just funny. Okay, so to skip ahead, they go to London. I mean, it's just like, there's really not much going on. Like, they keep talking like to every man they see, are you single? Like, Shannon needs to get laid, #laid in London. It's just like so stupid and overplayed.
I almost texted you to say, like, if my friends ever did some shit like that, first of all, I don't need to be in a relationship. Like, they have long said, like, Shannon just needs to be single. They're also saying like all these like negative, well, not everyone. There's a handful of them that are also saying all these negative things about Shannon. Yet every single man, you want to like put them in, like, everyone in an uncomfortable
her
on the plane. First of all, like, they're on the plane and Heather just like picks up the microphone and she's like, hello, everyone. This is Heather Dubrow. As if the entire flight is supposed to know what that means and who she is, first and foremost. And
it's embarrassing.
And then she's like, and we're here celebrating our girl Shannon's birthday and she's single, everyone. It's like, you better hang up that fucking microphone and shut the fuck up about me and my personal life. Like, I don't need your help. I don't need you to play matchmaker until the time comes where I say, hey, I'd love it if you could set me up with someone. Just don't say anything about me.
I'm also like, whenever I'm on a flight, when like the pilot is like talking, I'm always
not
like,
listening.
I can never, not only am I like, I can never hear what they're saying. I'm always like trying to, how much longer do we have? And it's always like, I don't know what they're saying. It's like the plane is so loud. Well, because when I went to Alaska a couple weeks ago, like, I was on Delta, and if you plug into the like TV thing they have, if they say something, it like pauses what you're watching and it will come through. And that's just like, if they're saying, oh, we're going to start
Right.
descending or whatever the hell, which I kind
Yes.
of like because
I have been on a
of
flight
the fact
before, yes.
that it's easier. But I'm just saying because like not every airline has that thing. Like it doesn't, if you're not always plugged into their system, right? Like, so
Right.
if you're listening to your own music
I'm
or
like
whatever, it's,
watching, yeah, like I'm like normally like watching on my laptop.
yeah. So then you might not hear. And so I was going to say, I do like that because it makes it easier to hear. But if you don't have that, it's like, I don't know what they're saying. So you're talking about your single friend. I'm like, okay, what the hell is happening? Anyway,
And like
so
it's Shannon's birthday trip and these girls are just going in on her.
yeah, they're
Like,
embarrassing her and
they're either
being
trying
mean
to set her up. Right. They're either trying to set her up to fuck somebody or they're
Making
being
her
mean to
cry.
her.
Mhm.
Like,
Okay, so they go on a speedboat thing. And it's like a high, obviously a speedboat, but it's like very fast and they're bumping around and everything. And so like half the girls are loving it, half the girls are like, I hate this. So Heather says like, this is not what I would like to do. I'd like to go like shopping and stuff. So I want to know like, well, I already know what you would say, but I want our listeners to say like, would you want to do a speedboat or would you be more like shopping at Harrods? I know you
what do
would
you think I would do?
Well, I know you would do both, like you would like both, but I think you would choose a speedboat.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I would.
No, for sure, because
Followed by a shopping trip.
followed by shopping. Yes, because I was going to say I know you would do both, but like out of the two, you would pick the speedboat first because that's like a fun thing, but you could shop all the time. And yeah, but for sure, I know you would want to do the speedboat.
Oh my God, thank you.
I would do the speedboat too because I mean that's fun. I like, yeah, and it's. I mean, I get motion sick, but not on like a fast thing like that. Like I don't get motion sick on like a roller coaster or whatever. I get motion sick on like a slow boat when you're just like rocking.
Gliding along from house to house in Alaska, you get motion sickness.
Yeah, on my boat that I take from house to house.
Heading from the house to the store to the local market.
Yeah, because we don't have cars there. That's a joke, people. It's a joke. Not one that I made, but one that I'm referencing from Kyra's favorite person on the challenge, who thinks it's funny to talk about Alaska.
I just think Kelly just goes ice fishing all the time and like gets salmon and like rows from place to place in Alaska.
Yeah, no, never been ice fishing in my life. If you saw the pictures I posted from Alaska 2 weeks ago, there was no ice on the lake.
Nope, it was beautiful.
Because it's summertime, fall.
Oh,
the lake isn't frozen yet.
It was cold at night.
But the ice wasn't frozen, so how would you ice fish?
Well, I don't know.
It's not winter time.
There might be parts in the mountains or something.
No, in the winter it freezes and then you can ice fish, but it's not winter time yet.
Whatever.
Anyways.
Anyway.
The last thing is basically the episode ends with Shannon revealing she found this text from Alexis from 2018 where basically it proves that Alexis did start the lawsuit with Jim Bellino against her and Tamara. So that'll take us into next week. It's a big like bombshell. Like, okay, Alexis, you're a fucking liar. We knew it. Fuck
and
you.
Tamara's still trying to defend it.
I know.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, we're going to get into that next week.
Yep. So with all of that being said, as you guys know, we like to end with some positivity. So what is something you are working on?
So something I am working on is some content. I'm working on some content and doing that and doing like some different angles of things and doing it without Kelly. So that's what I'm working on this week. What about you?
Doing it without Kelly. That was a statement. Okay. Once again,
I'm doing it without. Guys, there will be signs that I'm going solo.
This is another way of her informing me of shit. You know, she just loves to do it.
Oh my God. I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to tell you my words, but I'm just going to tell you that I have words.
She just said that so casually. I'm just doing it without Kelly.
No, because we normally do everything together and like we like help each other, and I'm just like doing this. We're each doing a solo video.
I'm just starting my own podcast without Kelly.
So guys, tune in tomorrow to the actual real podcast.
Tune into the Chaos podcast without Kelly.
I'm going to do Chaos Structured is starting tomorrow. So.
It's going to be called, the podcast is just called Without Kelly. Sick. Okay. So you're working on all kinds of things without me. Great. I am working on, was actually going to be my answer even before you said this, but now this is extra funny. I'm working on boundaries. And you are my test subject. No, I'm just kidding.
So
I'm just
tune in next week where only one of us will be here.
tune in to find out which one it is. Yeah, I mentioned that over the weekend I had a good heart-to-heart with my mom about lots of life stuff and just working on it all.
I'm
Thanks.
proud of you.
Thanks. And I'm not the Hannah. Not that I ever was, but I'm just have to say that again. Not the Hannah.
Sure.
What's something you are looking forward to?
I am looking forward to, I kind of said in the beginning of the episode, but I'm going to say it again, basketball. I am looking forward to watching basketball on my TV again. Let's fucking go.
Okay. When does it start?
It started. We're in preseason right now. We're like
okay.
we're like a week and a half away from like actual season starting, but we're in preseason, so they're like showing all the games. Okay.
I did hear that Bronny and LeBron played their first game together.
Yes, preseason game.
Okay. I am looking forward to, my dad's coming to town this weekend.
Oh, we're supposed to be having a dad date.
Yes, we will. He's going to be here for 2 weeks. So
yes.
I'm looking forward to that. So that will be fun. And then, we're just gonna, I have like some projects he's gonna help me with in my house. And I'm also looking forward to, I'm going to rearrange my office that I'm in, and I'm going to put out all my fall decor today, which
cute.
I haven't done yet. So I'm excited to do that. And then
I have to add one more thing. Sorry.
No.
I'm looking forward to the rest of our week and our special guests that we're going to have and our little special project that we're doing.
Yes. Okay. I forgot that we were going to chat about that.
Yep.
Or like mention it. Yeah. So stay tuned for that, because we're definitely looking
fun. Yes, we have something really important and really fun coming up with some guests, some very special guests, and I'm very excited for that.
Yes, I'm excited for that too.
Even though we are not a guest podcast.
Yeah, I didn't even know that you were going to say that. But when you said I need to add one more thing, I don't know if you heard me, but I said, no, we're not a guest podcast. I didn't know that's what you were going to add. Whatever, it works.
Well, my new podcast will be guests only, so.
Yeah, guests only without Kelly. Okay, and then lastly, what is something that made you feel like an adult this week?
So, if you follow my like personal Instagram, well, I guess actually we put it on our Structured Chaos as well. Oh, my eye is shut. I went and had lunch at Kelly's office with her, and like, yes, I'm an adult with a real job, but like I don't work in an office. And so like anytime I like go and like to like when I was younger, I'd go to my mom's work, you know, and like when I go to my friend's office, which is like far and few between because like you're not going to work at your like you're not going to your friend's work all the time. I just was like, oh my God, like you're like an adult, like a little key code, you know, like which it sometimes does what it's supposed to do. But Kelly works on a beautiful, beautiful campus, and I got to like see her office, and we had lunch on the roof, and it was a beautiful day, and it was just so nice, and like that made me feel like an adult. I was like, wow, my friends are adults. I don't know what that makes me, but my friends are adults.
It was very fun, and I was so happy. I like have had I think you're only like my maybe second person that's come to my office like that. And it's always fun because it's just like, I don't know, it's something like you said, you don't usually get to do that with your
Yeah.
friends. So it's kind of like feels like a different part of your life to be like, this is where you come to work. And it's like a bring your friend to work type day, even though it was just for lunch, but it was so fun. And yeah, I mean, I know exactly what you mean because I feel like that about certain things that my friends like that. So some of my friends, like if they have like an actual house instead of like an apartment or a condo or whatever, I'll go there and I'll be like, oh, you're like an adult. Like it just, there's certain things that certain people do or have or whatever that you're like, oh, you're an adult. Even though like we're the same age, I feel like you're an adult for
like you're,
this,
you're adulting much at a much higher level than me.
Right. But like I feel like that about you because like you have a new car, like a, like a nice car or like whatever. And you, I mean, you work at a nice place too, but it's just a different,
very, very much so. Yes.
Yeah, it's like a different, yeah. So anyways, yeah, that was really fun. And we got each other gifts like for the launch of our podcast. So we had lunch together to exchange those, which we're going to show in a second. I was just going to say my adult thing of the week was I think like setting up our fundraiser because I was like on the phone
I
with.
knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be your thing.
Yeah, I think it was just because I had to like call the like the research. Yeah, and so I was like talking to them and it just felt very like adult. I was like, oh, I'm setting up a fundraiser and like, yeah. So okay, but so before we go, we're gonna show like the gifts we got each other real quick. And so if you're watching, you'll be able to see them. If not, I'll include pictures of them on our carousel on Instagram so that you can see. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
So Kelly got me like the sweetest gift ever. And I was like totally like not expecting it. And it was just like something that's like so personal, and like she really thought about it. And I think it's super, super special. So she got me this like, oh, hold on. She got me this like plaque. Sorry, you're going to see my ring light.
Okay. The chaos is showing.
Do it this way. So she got me this plaque of our first episode, and it's so cute. It's so cute. So I'm going to frame it. I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, I want to do like something here. And he was like, okay, well, like, let's like put it in a frame. And so I'm going to have them like side by side, like a cute little thing. And there's like this perfect spot in my workout closet room. And I'm going to look at it every day. And it was so, so, so kind. And thank you so much. I love it, love it, love it, love it.
Yay. I was going to have it for Kyra at our like launch party to give it to her, but it has, like she said, it's our first episode and I didn't know what we were going to name our first episode until literally the day before our launch party. And so I had to wait to order it because I didn't know what we were going to name it. And so anyways, but yeah, I was excited. Okay. So, for those of you who don't, the way we like split our responsibilities, on the podcast kind of is I do most of like the social media stuff and Kyra does like all the editing of the podcast. Like after we record, she edits, uploads, all that kind of stuff. So like when we were preparing for the podcast over the summer, getting everything organized, ready to go, Kyra got a computer and we're getting everything set up. And well, you could explain like if you want.
I just don't know how to do anything with technology. I didn't. I have leaps and bounds now, but Kelly would like, I've referenced it a couple of times before, but like Kelly would like, I would say something and Kelly's like, oh, I already did this, or oh, I did that, or like this, how you do this. And like, I mean, down to like resizing like the font on something or like adding a space bar somewhere, like a lot of little things that most people would know how to do or judge me for not knowing. And so like, I was just like, you're a genius. Like you are a technology whiz. And so I always call her Steve Jobs. Like I was like, okay, Steve, like, like tell me what to do.
So I got a Steve Jobs shirt and it's amazing. I love it so much.
Oh my God.
And it's perfect. So yeah, if you're watching, you got to see what our gifts look like. And if you're not watching, like I said, I'll post pictures. But
I was telling Kelly yesterday too that I was like showing my friend at work like what she had got me. And so she's like, do you feel bad about what you got her? And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, well, because like hers is like so sentimental. And I was like, so was mine. I was like,
so true.
I was like, it was just different. I was like, and she really liked it. She's always wanted a shirt like that. And she was like, oh, well, that's good. And I was like,
no, but it has like a meaning, like because if it like it mean it's not like it's just a random person, like it's meaningful to us in our journey. I love it. Well, that is all for this week. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We hope you've laughed with us and maybe learned something. Just another little reminder about our fundraiser. The link is down below. It's on our Instagram, as well as all of our other links to follow us. Make sure you like, subscribe, rate, review, share, all of those fun things. And we will see you next week, maybe even sooner.
Maybe even sooner. Bye.